I'm Sarah, this is my husband Dustin. We're here in Pacifica, California, just 30 minutes south of San Francisco. And we're originally from Florida, but moved out here about 2.5 years ago.
We met at a wedding.
Yep.
And I gave this speech at the rehearsal dinner the night before, and it moved Sarah to tears, and she came up to me and talked to me, and we had a special moment, and that was the beginning.
We met at our best friend's wedding.
Best friend's wedding.
In Franklin, Tennessee. I think it was definitely a God thing because we were in Tennessee when we met at the wedding, and then we both lived in Orlando, Florida at the time. I was dating someone at the time. It didn't, and it wasn't going to work out. So a couple of months later, Dustin was very persistent and trying to get a hold of me, and so we went out, and the rest is history.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Dustin and Sarah are with us. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hi, Dave. We're great.
Doing great, Dave. Thanks.
Before we got married, we went to 13 weeks of premarital classes, and there was 1 week that was finances. Sarah had mentioned that she knew some friends that went through FPU, and I was really familiar with Dave Ramsey because I used to listen to him on the radio with my dad. And we knew, first of all, that we wanted to combine our finances. Everything was going to be equal say in everything, and that our family household was going to be one bank account.
We quickly joined bank accounts, finances. We both had student loans, both had credit cards, a little bit from the wedding, but mostly pre-existing, a car payment. I mean, everything was pretty much normal, and as far as normal Americans and what their finances look like. We wrote down all of our debts on a piece of paper.
Right.
Like we had a journal that said this is how much debt we had, and we listed it out. And we had a goal to get debt-free by October 2017. So we would technically, by this math that we created, we would still be in debt. And then honestly, like 2 or 3 months later, EveryDollar came out,
Right.
and then that changed our course. Yeah.
For sure.
I think the biggest impact to use EveryDollar was you saw the category, you saw what your budget was, you were familiar with the amount, so as you spend, you were highly aware of what was going to be taken out.
Just because it's so easy, because I mean, we both had it on our phone, and you'd see a transaction, and one of us could put it in the category, and it was just it was really easy to share the duty of the budget. And one time I saw a charge, and I said, hey, did you make this charge? And we actually found out we had card fraud from the EveryDollar app.
So really what you're saying is the budget and working together were your two big things that caused you to break through.
Yep.
I would say the first real turning point in our journey was we would get home from work, look on social media, and we'd see people that graduated the same time as us from school, and they're going on a cruise or a vacation somewhere, buying a new car, buying a house, and we would look at each other and just say, how are they doing this? They graduated the same time as us. They have the same type jobs. And I knew if we wanted to do those things, that we were gonna have to seriously make some changes. And so that was kind of always going in the back of my mind. And then Sarah gets this opportunity to advance her career in San Francisco. We start looking for rents in the area, and that was a huge eye-opener. And I was like, there's no way we could afford to live there. And then we start doing the math, and it's like, well, if we cut out this, and if we make this our grocery budget, I think we can make it happen. And then I said, okay, like if we're really gonna take this leap of faith to take that position, we really have to get serious, and we have to stick to this plan. And that was like the final, okay, do this so we can live there in the moment now. And then we knew even after a few years, it might be possible to get debt-free. Then we could start going and doing vacations and doing trips and just really do the long-term goals that we talked about while we were even preparing to get married.
Mm-hmm. That's where I think our debt-free process started as soon as we moved to California.
We live in a cool place.
We do.
All right, so you sit down and do a budget, you get on EveryDollar,
Right.
and you get in attack mode. So what was the hardest part of the last 22 months?
This isn't a 50-50 thing. This is 100% for everybody. Because when the other person needs help, you've got to step in and fill in the gaps then.
So through the whole process of getting out of debt, I would definitely say it's really positively affected our marriage. We knew, okay, we can't spend money to find entertainment, so what are we gonna do?
We started hiking around here and started taking advantage of Northern California and being here and say, okay, we're on a very tight budget. Maybe we add a little bit to gas so we could go to these national parks, and we started making that the fun part of our marriage. And we had this goal to climb Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. And in September 2016, so a month before we got out of debt, we got tickets because you have to play the lottery. And we were able to climb. It was 18 miles, 10 hours. We were hardly in any sleep because we had to work the day before and after.
Right, we actually slept in the car to save money too.
Yeah. It was so freeing. Like the last, I don't know if you're familiar with the mountain, but the last quarter mile of it, you're 90 degrees above against the rock, and you're climbing like this, holding on to cables unattached. Those cables at the end was like the last push. It was like our debt-free journey. Like the last couple of months, we were able to just push it through, and we were throwing $2,000, $2,500. I think one month we threw that $3,000 at the debt.
I know.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe when we are free, what we're gonna be able to do with this money.
Right.
How's it feel now that you don't have any payments?
Feel rich.
Yeah. It's like a huge weight off your shoulders. We did their first monthly budget, and then we had all this money left over. And of course, it's going to our emergency fund and our savings, but it's like, wow, you know, this is something that we can use to finish and complete some of our future goals and travel and do the things that we really want to do and we're passionate about. It just felt like we were on top of the world. Kind of the same thing when we did our debt-free scream, is like we were able to accomplish these goals we set for ourselves that never even could have dreamt was a possibility.
All right, it's Dustin and Sarah, San Francisco. $50,000 paid off in 22 months, making $95 to $150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Way to go, you guys. Way to go.
You have to rely on each other. You have to go into an area maybe you've never gone before, outside your comfort zone. You have to make these sacrifices that in our world, in our society, we're not used to making these sacrifices.
What you do now, the sacrifice you make, it's gonna pay off in the long run. And I know Dave always used to say, live like no one else, so one day you can live and give like no one else. And just to see that in our lives now, to have the sacrifice that's been made, and we're able to give to others and help others out, it's tough, yeah, but after a few months, some of the sacrifices we made to our budget, truthfully, we didn't even notice. I just encourage anybody, grab every courage you have and go for it. Don't look back.